We want everybody to be safe.
Yeah, that's
everybody to be safe.
You know, I always hate on a lot of my videos. I'm like, you know, we just want. I want no confrontation. You know, I mean, that's the whole thing, man. I don't want, you know, any problems or.
You know, if we can have a dialogue, I'm all about dialogue. I'm all about that. You know.
That police officer right there.
Where?
But, you know, I think these officers over here got the wrong end of the stick because they can't hear the music as good as the other officers over by the stadium.
TN Accountability, what's up? We have the wonderful and awesome Mexican Long here.
Yep.
We are auditing in Commerce City,
AKA Commerce City.
There we go. I'm gonna have to make you a mod. Here we go. There we go. You are officially a mod. TN Accountability.
TN. What's up, TN?
Everybody, go in and subscribe to TN channel as well. Also, Mexican Long here. If you guys are on here, please go subscribe to his.
Yeah.
He does great work. He's been definitely holding it down, even in my city. So, and I appreciate you.
Do we dare go across with the
yeah, blurry. What's this blurry? Oh, there we go. Let's see.
I ain't taking a chance, K-Dot.
Huh?
I ain't taking a chance with no.
You talking about walking?
Yeah, walking. I'm not taking a chance with these guys, man. I know these guys too well.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna give you a what do they call that? A jaywalking ticket.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, since she's right there. But let's see if she scatters or if she answers our questions.
Hey guys, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe. Trouble is here now.
Hey guys, you think we're gonna get a hard time over here? Or we're just gonna ask a few questions.
Is that a frog?
Is that what?
It's a frog.
Yeah, that's a frog. Holy shit, frog!
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Frog. No, don't go that way. Oh.
Awesome. Look at that.
Check it out. Look what I caught.
Look at what Mexican Long here caught. There we go.
Let it go there.
There you go, buddy.
I mean, that's not the most ideal, but it's better than going out into the middle of
Is
the
it slimy
street.
at all?
No. Dry. I caught a frog, yo. Did you guys see that? Yeah, he was playing real Frogger. No DUI checkpoint, Regan. I don't know if you see in the background, but that's Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, and, it's either a concert or a soccer game.
It's probably a concert. Do you hear the music?
Oh, you hear music?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some type of concert. I don't know what concert's there, but we're just waiting for the crosswalk here. Shit, man, that leads me to believe we better do our shit and get done.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we'll be dealing with traffic all the way back on Quebec. But it's definitely a concert.
Okay.
So, man, that was crazy. Good catch there, Kate. Hey, look at that. You can also say now that I am a wildlife expert
Right.
on the MLH channel. So not only am I a 1A auditor, entertainer / homeless advocate, you can add wildlife preserver on my resume. I just saved a frog from playing real life Frogger as Road Dogs put it.
You just keeps getting better and better.
My channel's blowing up, man. Alright. Here we go. We're safe on sound on the other side of the street here.
Alright.
Who do we want to ask first? Do we want to ask motorcycle or this one?
Oh, is that a motor?
She saw the camera and she ducked in, man. I'm wearing my glasses because... Yes, I'm wearing my sunglasses.
No, what's up, man? Missed you, man.
You guys see the frog?
It's my day one.
Yep, frog rounder upper.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, officer.
Yes.
Can you tell us what event
Hey,
is going on
Keithwood.
over there?
It's the fish.
Oh, the fish concert. Thank you.
It's a
Appreciate
fish
that.
concert?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Do you
weird.
know who Fish is?
Yeah.
Is that like a rock band or what?
No, it's a Grateful
Grateful
Dead.
Dead.
Sort of like Grateful Dead. They got a huge following.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Okay, I'm late. Then.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm not a fish.
I'm not a big fan of fish either.
Well, I'm a DJ.
They're loved.
So,
man.
how did you get the short end of the stick to be further away from the action over there?
That's what I signed up for.
Well, I mean, so what you're saying is you're not a fish fan and you want to be furthest away from the music, right?
Furthest away from the crowd.
Oh yeah, well there you go. That's you.
Not necessarily the music, but the crowd.
Yes.
I hear you.
It's too rowdy.
Yeah. I know it can get pretty wild in there. Are you expecting any content tonight? It's just traffic control.
Fish traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're usually pretty well behaved. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that about concerts. I went to the Guns N' Roses concert over there, and I mean, crowd was docile.
Yeah.
Not much going on there.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys had any incidences there
Nope.
at that concert. So.
We did not.
Yeah.
What's the last incident at a concert that you had that you can remember?
Let's see. We didn't have concerts last year.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that.
Usually it's pretty.
I think the first year Fish was here
Yeah.
was a nightmare.
Really?
Just because I think we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, are we going to let them do what they want to do, or are we going to enforce? That was before weed was legal.
Right.
Then we kind of learned, just leave
I
them
think
alone
for the
and-
most part, I've noticed at concerts most of the time. I mean, you guys don't really. Even before weed was legal here, I didn't really notice like a huge crackdown. Maybe at Red Rocks a couple of times, because people. I think the officers out there were a little uptight about stuff. But,
I think we were the first year too.
Yeah.
They kind of learn, let them learn. And they were like, okay, we're not hurting anything. So.
Yeah, I mean, as long as like nobody's getting behind the wheel and causing a lot of issues.
Right.
What do you think about the wildlife preserve out here? I just saved a frog, and it was the weirdest thing. He caught like a frog just about ready to play real life frogger.
Yeah.
And I put it into that median over there because I was afraid it was going to get squashed right in front of our eyes. What's your name and badge number, just by chance?
My name's Connie.
Connie. Do you guys have badge numbers out
Yeah,
here?
3174.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I was saying very nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet your name.
I'm MLH. You can catch my channel Mexican long hair on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And I'm DJ Kate at the party because
Okay.
I'm always the life of the party.
Very nice.
No, I'm actually a DJ though.
So you guys have a YouTube channel?
Well, we each have a YouTube channel.
That's cool.
Yeah, so this will be up on YouTube. Check it out. This is actually a live stream.
I would say I did do an audit. I think it was last year sometime. And you guys passed with flying colors.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
you guys
that's
did.
good to know.
Which is strange because whoa. Some action going on there. I don't know where they're headed, but
Probably to maybe
there-
go down further.
do you guys I'll wait till Pat is here and then I'll ask you a quick question and we'll leave you alone. I know you're busy, but do you guys are your scanners encrypted out here in Commerce City? Or are
Our
they still
scanners?
Yes. Because I know Denver's are encrypted, but I was
Scanners. I don't know that.
okay.
I'm a detective, so I'm not
Oh, you're a
usually on the
detective.
radio. I had someone to help me. I'm like, oh, what channel are we on?
Yeah.
So
She's like, I forgot to put on this stuff.
Yeah,
How do
I
you do this?
I don't know for sure.
Uh,
I know there was talk of that.
yeah.
But I don't
What
know
would
if we've
be
actually
What
got
would
that.
be the advantage to encrypting, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I work in financial crimes.
Okay.
So I think if people are listening, we read out people's names and dates of birth. addresses, and I think that can be very dangerous.
But do you see the other side of things, like the journalistic approach?
Of course I do.
You know, like the transparency and like, you know, most of that is public information anyways, once you guys get it done. I know there is sensitive information that, you know, you guys probably can use your discernment to not, you know, say that over the radios and stuff.
Yeah.
So do you think it's more of a training issue, or do you think it's just, you know, it should be encrypted and that's just the way that it should
Well, you know, I've been in law enforcement for 27 years.
Uh-huh.
I started in a department down in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and we were encrypted down there in the 90s.
Right. Okay.
It went from the
What part of Arizona?
500 megahertz, I think, and then we went to the 900, and so people didn't have the ability to
Right.
scan that.
Right.
Down in down by Phoenix.
Okay.
So not Phoenix though.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, I definitely see the journalistic, the public side of it.
Right.
There's times though that there's just stuff that I don't think people need to know. Like if a husband and wife are fighting, and you know the dispatch gives us the address and the names, you know that could be embarrassing to people.
Right.
The way our old department did it, we had basically a log sheet of by the records, and every day our news guys would come in and they would read the things that, like the reports, but not the reports themselves, but like
Right.
the types of calls we went on,
Right.
and they would give like a summary.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, that could go either way.
Yeah. I actually lean on the journalistic side of
you do.
things for obvious reasons.
Sure.
But,
I hear you, Keebler. I hear you, Keebler.
I don't know. I just think that it's there's got to be. I'm really actually really surprised that some of the major news outlets haven't challenged the encryption laws in Denver, for instance, because honestly, like I feel like most of this is public information, anyways. If I was to FOIA request, you know, those logs that you were mentioning, the addresses and stuff are you know,
The names are not though.
The names are not.
names and dates of birth,
Right.
and social security numbers, those are all redacted.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, right, but
Hey, Steven.
if let's say it wasn't encrypted, I mean, putting social security numbers over an unencrypted scanner, to me, would probably be the wrong procedure. And again, that goes back to training, in my opinion. I don't know.
Well, we don't do social security numbers.
Right,
but,
or like dates of birth and stuff
that's
like
because
that.
we're only working on one channel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
I think it's a matter of manpower with our dispatchers too.
uh-huh.
You know?
Well, it could be as simple as
I think
that.
there's, you know, just maybe a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah.
You know, not just
Okay.
one.
Right.
So,
How do you feel about the ability to record inside of a public lobby, like a police station lobby? What's
I
your?
don't have a problem with it.
You don't have a problem with that? Well, Denver does, because the chief of police actually put up a statute that said that you cannot record in a police lobby.
Why?
The thought process behind it was victims, but you know, like victims of crimes and stuff. But
I could see that.
Yeah,
Sitting in the lobby waiting. or
I
something.
understand that too. But the expectation of privacy is not on the public. You see, it's on the police station itself. Like if there was something that you needed to talk to somebody in private, I mean, you as a detective know this. I mean, you'll probably get somebody in the room and interview and get all the information and talk about that stuff. So why is
Never
it
do it in the lobby.
Yeah, why would you would never do it in the lobby, right? You wouldn't discuss all that information.
You would bring him to your
In
office.
front of people. You would bring them in and say, you know, here's a room, and that way we're away from any ears or eyes that can potentially hear your information, right? I mean, I've seen it several times. They do it down in Littleton. There was a woman that was in obvious distress, and she was giving the detectives information right there in public. And right now, and I have my camera, and I'm like, I pointed it away, and you know, I wanted to get away from any of that. But if I were to record that, we're out in public. You know, there's obviously no problem with recording in public. It's First Amendment right. But I think that was kind of distasteful on the officer's part, and I felt kind of bad. You know, it's like.
Consider fair to
But
people,
that leads
whatever
me
works out.
to believe.
Better
Like,
for them. That
you
has.
see the disconnect there, like. It sort of like makes me feel that there's something to hide inside the lobbies. And if you can't go in there, like for instance, I wanted to go in there and grab a complaint form, not specifically because I wanted to complain, but I wanted to see the process in action. And I should have a right to record that because it's my own personal interaction with the police there. So why is it that I can't record that? You know, I mean, if I go in there and I don't, you know, I'm kind of afraid of police and I want to keep a good eye, make sure nothing happens to me while I do that, because there have been instances of retaliation and stuff like that. I want to be able to record that, you know, and not have fear that me just asking for a police complaint form should result in somebody coming after me. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, I don't know.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
I mean, I'm trying to bridge the gap.
It shouldn't be like that.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that it's not.
Right.
Because it is.
Right.
We see it. I'm not saying that it's rampant, but we try to do the best we can. I think sometimes we perceive things differently than what maybe you perceive it as being.
Right, and that's what we're out here to do.
Yeah.
We're here to bridge the gap, you know.
I think that's great.
And make sure that, I mean, the other day I was out on a crime scene in Aurora for an assault. I understand that there's sensitive matters and there's, you know, and they did put up crime tape and I was behind it, but then they assigned somebody to specifically look at me with a camera. You know, I have a camera. I never carry any weapons or anything of that nature. And there's always a perception that I'm here to do harm when simply I'm here to do investigative journalism, right? I'm here to get information to the people that watch my channel, to the people that you know watch the videos on archives and stuff of that nature. So it always makes it seem like the police have the odds stacked against the public, especially when you have somebody that's specifically assigned to you to watch you everywhere you go to get the information. And when I asked the officer about it, he simply said, you know, I'm here to make sure that nothing happens to everybody else here. And I'm like, that's not true. You're here to make sure I don't do something to everybody else because you're fixated on me.
Right.
Which the problem I see with that is they have an officer assigned to me with a camera and he was simply watching me. That's not enough to make sure that all your officers, your 10 officers that were there, are safe. You know, anybody could have walked up behind him, grabbed his gun, or another person's gun on the scene. But that's just it. There's 10 people there. Why is it that you think I'm a threat? You know, why is it that the journalist simply with the camera is a threat? And that's the question I had. And of course, he didn't want to answer for whatever reason. But you know, I understand that you guys are under the gun every
what's
time.
up,
That's
dude?
probably part of it. Is every time that we see a camera, we're like, oh, you know, how are they spinning it?
Right.
How are they going to make us look bad?
But
And that would be as a human being, not just as
no,
a
I
cop.
get that too. And here's the thing that I always say: the camera's objective. If I'm sitting here and I'm calling you a bunch of names, well, the camera's going to catch that too. You know,
Sure.
you guys have. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys have body cameras on you out here in Commerce City.
We do.
Okay.
I do not.
Right.
I am a detective.
Right, you're a
but
detective.
We're actually, the detectives are going to actually get things.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
I actually see a reason
cool.
why detectives should have a little more leeway when it comes to body cams than a normal patrol officer. You know what I mean? Because you guys are doing a lot more interviewing, a lot more of that person's stuff like that. But I don't know. It's things like that that really kind of fit us against each other, right? The public and officers. And I really don't know the answer to that other than maybe clone you a few times and a few of the people that act like you, because if everything was as smooth as what we're doing right here, I don't think there would be many problems.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
You know.
And I appreciate you even having the conversation and the dialogue.
You guys asking questions.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's not every day that we get somebody that's here to actually give us information for one. Something as simple as asking you what event was happening here can sometimes set officers off for whatever reason. And it's like, look, this is public knowledge. You know, I could probably go online and figure out what's going on at Dick's Sporting Goods, but as a public servant, you know, I think it may be your duty to say, hey, I know what's going on here. This is a concert. If you don't know, you can simply say, I really don't know what's going on here. You know?
Well, I think it's just being a human being.
Right.
You know, I think as a society we've forgotten to do that.
Right.
I mean, everyone is just really hateful and selfish anymore, and I think that carries over in, you know, face-to-face type thing, because everybody's, you know, the keyboard warriors and everything. And I just, my philosophy in years back in law enforcement is you always get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
Right.
You know, treat people the way you expect to be treated, or you think that they expect to be treated. Like you said,
and you know what the funny thing is I actually think the opposite of you. I was just talking to K-Dot about this on the way over here. I actually think the majority of people are good. You know, otherwise we wouldn't be here as a species. I know you guys see.
Oh, I totally agree.
You know what I mean?
The majority.
Yeah, I have a quick question. I have to convince me. That's why my friend is
this is a fantastic interaction. Guys.
Yeah, man. She's
doing a really good job.
She has, man. She's awesome.
everything is blocked off. How can I?
I'm sorry, you can't, because everybody is going to be coming out.
Yeah, I will.
So what do you think in the comment section, guys? What do you think? Is it a good conversation? What do you? You get more flies with crap than honey. Here's my philosophy. When it comes to dealing with police.
Yeah.
You put more pressure on coal, you get diamonds.
Well, see, that's another thing. He just made it really fit.
And that's what we are. Press.
Yeah, we're the pressure. You know, and we said that the more pressure you put on coal, the more diamonds you get. So, you know,
you know what I'm saying? I like walking down. You're a diamond.
Right.
And I'm not. And trust me, I don't say that about a lot of police. You know
if you
what
check
I'm saying?
out our channels, you'll see the opposite of you on most of the
yeah, and this is a prime example of how a law enforcement officer should conduct himself.
Absolutely. It's like, I mean, I'm going to send this video to Denver because they need to learn, you know, this is the way that you really should. What's that?
No, and Aurora.
And Aurora.
No, seriously.
It's going on YouTube, but you know, you're a perfect example.
This is what we want to highlight. This is what we want.
We want to do things, and there've been a couple, like Officer Thompson in Denver was really cordial with me. I just met
Sorry about that, guys.
Officer McCormick in Glendale. He was over in Denver at the mental health facility, and I waited till respectfully when he was done with the conversation with another worker. I think it might have been a police worker. I wasn't sure, but I asked him, you know, what you know, you're on the other side of town. What are you doing in Denver at a mental health facility? He took his time. He let me know. He gave me as much information as he could, and that was it. You know, and that's we need more of that. We need more of you. We need more of Officer McCormick and other officers, so we can bridge the gap from officers beating the shit out of people for no reason and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is textbook how you should do it. By the way, I have officers watching my live stream all the time. He does too. So, if you're looking at a prime example of good training video, this is it right here, guys.
This is perfect.
I'm not going to take too much more of your time. I really appreciate the time that you gave us. We're going to get out of your hair so we can avoid the traffic and also let you get back to doing what you're doing.
What time is the show over?
Well, last night they did till about, I think, 10:45-ish.
Yeah, we
And then they did a encore.
Yeah.
That was like another 20 or 30 minutes.
Oh, that's early.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, but what time did they start? I guess.
7:30.
They go a long time.
Early,
Man.
yo.
Yeah,
Usually
that's why
concerts are like until like
they
way later.
Yeah. Does Commerce City have like noise ordinances where they have to shut down at a certain time here? Because I know like over
That's
at
a good question.
I know down Fiddler's Green, we call it Fiddler's Green.
Yeah.
I think it's Coors Amphitheater.
Yep.
You have to shut everything down at like 10:30 or something. You know? But
Everything done before that. So I know we have an ordinance.
Traffic
but I
control,
don't know the
most people
specifics of it.
But I mean, you guys don't really like super enforce that. You're not gonna get on the stage and say,
Oh,
"Hey,
no.
you gotta
No.
shut your shit off right now," you know, type
No.
of thing. Yeah,
No, we
yeah.
don't.
I figured as much.
So I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
And I think a lot of good officers like you need more of this. Is there a funnel to where if a police officer is well, that wouldn't be a police officer, a bad police officer is committing misconduct, is there a whistleblower program within your in your department? As far
It's
as
not titled whistleblower, but our policies are very specific as what we, not only as police officers, but as a city employee,
sure.
are required to do.
Oh, okay.
So,
Great.
Yeah, there's kind of the chain of command. So, our immediate supervisor, human resources,
Okay.
they all get involved in that kind of stuff.
Got it.
Now,
What I hear a lot is if an officer does something wrong, if the chief of police or the PIO or whatever goes in front of the media and explains that, our officers are really upset about this, and that person does not represent our department and stuff like that. What I feel, and which I appreciate, but I do feel like it's taken away from the officers, because why aren't a group of them allowed to say the same thing? You know what I'm saying? Because I think that would be, because then that would be more transparent, because it's not coming from one person.
right.
And I get it.
I think, in our example, we had an officer. How long have you guys been around?
How long have we been around?
Yeah.
I've been around a long time.
It's probably about 2015.
Okay.
We had an officer who misconduct, basically.
Okay.
And not only did our chief, but our FOP, so that's our collective bargaining
Right.
tool.
Right. The union type
Yeah.
thing.
Oh.
They made a statement as well, and that's the way we do it. Is anytime there's something misconduct or anything, the
Sure.
FOP would make a statement as well, besides our chief.
Wow.
That's actually really good.
And I'm gonna be totally honest with you. That's a bit rare. Because I don't know if you know what's going on
Yes.
It's an emergency. I'm trying to pick up my husband. He's having medical emergency. Lot A. Okay, I'll let them know. Where's lot A? It's up here.
It is shocking.
It'll lead you right up there.
Wow, that's.
Yeah.
Good
You
luck.
must have had to do something really bad.
Yeah.
Because we had.
6-4 in Quebec, there's a male subject in lot A with a medical emergency. I'm not sure what it is.
I got one more question, Kate, and then we should get the hell out of here because got one more question, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know you're busy. I was telling my audience. Last question I have for you. I don't know if KDOT has any more, but how do you feel about the Thin Blue Line Club?
It's a good question. So, Thin Blue Line, to us, does not represent the silent, is that the wall of silence or whatever?
Right.
Thin Blue Line to us is, we are the line between good and evil.
Do you understand that now it's morphed into the public perception that it is that code of silence? Like if somebody does something wrong, we're all gonna just turn our heads. It sounds like Commerce City's doing a fairly decent job of kind of combating that. But the perception is definitely out there in public, and it's very persistent.
Sure it is.
I mean, I'm sure you know, and I'm sure all of your other officers know as well. We see it as a threat, and I'm actually going to Littleton and battling to have them remove it from their lobbies, because to the public it represents tyranny. It represents because time and time again it's been proven. I'm not saying here in Commerce City. I haven't been out in Commerce City enough to kind of gather if the feeling is persistent out here. I mean, you're a great representative and are changing a little bit of the way I think of Commerce City. But I've seen time and time again where officers will do misconduct, i.e., they won't have their emergency lights and they'll be speeding, and an officer or a citizen will call them on it, and they feel like they didn't do anything wrong. Their officer said, they'll say, their fellow officers will say the same thing. I'm just using it as an example. But I've seen a myriad of incidences where officers will do the wrong thing, and another officer will be witness to that, whether it's somebody punching somebody that's being in custody, that's already in handcuffs, or it can be any extreme. It can be something as quote unquote minor as speeding or passing a red light, using your emergency lights, and then immediately turning them off because there's no emergency. I mean, those type of things add up, right? And it's added up to the point where there's ample evidence that the thin blue line doesn't mean what you're saying. Doesn't mean that it's the line between good and evil. It means that no matter what, we're going to stick together, band together, no matter if we do the misconduct, if we're the ones doing the misconduct.
And not only that, but it's also another form of disrespect, because it is desecration to the American flag.
It is.
Technically, by code.
There's a flag code in this country that says, if you change the colors, I can't quote it specifically, but it's all over online.
I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, the people Walmart who sell American flag plates of the American flag on 4th of July are desecrating the flag too.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that it is a little disheartening when we see that, and then we also have the Back the Blue people
I'm sorry.
We also have the Back the Blue people who.
Oh, Back the Blue.
People that had maybe have totally different agendas than you do.
Sure.
And it's just like, well, damn.
Sure, I get it.
I guess what I'm getting at is the best way I can put it is, I think it's a political statement on the police's part. Whether it's what
Becky,
you're saying,
how you doing?
That it's it's the line between good and evil. And in my view, it's kind of the definition of terrorism to me. I know that might hurt a little bit and kind of sting a little bit, but when I see that, I think what he thinks it's against flag code. My grandfather fought in World War II, and he didn't fight for the thin blue line flag. He fought for the American flag, thin blue line. You know what I'm saying? So in that respect, I hate it. And I think it's a political statement when people wear it on their bodies or support that flag.
Citizen Z,
so
what's up?
I don't think it's right for officers to either have that on their uniform or have it displayed in the lobby or on their vehicles, because it has become so polarizing between the public and officers. So to me, I mean, if you were to really think about the public's perception of it, why would you want to further, widen the gap as opposed to bridging that gap? The American flag is the only thing that should be on you guys' uniforms. You know what I mean? That's not an American flag. That's a police flag. It's a political statement.
I see your point.
Yeah.
I think it started a long time ago. Before it came political.
Okay.
Because you have so many let me ask you this. How many people, if I were pulling a car over and was struggling with someone because they do what I asked them to do or whatever, how many normal Civilians.
Right, civilians.
How many civilians would stop and help?
Well, that's actually a subjective question.
It is.
Civilians aren't trained for that. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
they're not. But
Right,
you see someone in trouble.
right,
Human nature should be, I'm
Right.
going to stop and help. Whether you're strong enough or whatever, whether it's calling someone on
Right.
the phone, that should be.
right.
So,
I actually, okay, on
ahead.
that point, I actually think I've seen more acts of heroism from normal citizens than I have of police officers. I know that sounds strange, but
no, I have seen that as well.
you know what I'm saying?
But I think our thought process is, we have to stick together, not because we're, misconduct or everything. We're brothers and sisters. I have to know that the person I'm working with will risk his or her life as I would them, and I think that flag represented that brotherhood and sisterhood.
I think it initially started that way, but I think it evolved. It evolved in. Sorry, I'm gonna wait till the pass.
Sorry?
I think it has evolved in such a way where it doesn't mean that anymore. I know you may feel slightly different, have colleagues that have discussed it or whatever, like you're saying, you have to rely on these guys to have your back, And it's that way on the street too, we as citizens have to mostly rely, how we feel now, we mostly have to rely on ourselves. Because, this man right here lived a few blocks away from Elijah McClain. Where was the help for him? There wasn't another officer saying, hey, you need to stop strangling this guy. Same thing with George Floyd. There was no other officer there saying, hey, you might want to ease up. He's already in handcuffs.
Not even an EMT person.
If there was empathy within each other there, they would have saw that there was a human being in distress right there and shouldn't have suffered. You see what I'm saying? And all it takes is somebody saying, hey man, he's in restraint here. There's no, once you get somebody in handcuffs, for the most part, it's kind of over, isn't it? For the most part, I know you can kick and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, some of the worst fights I've ever been in is somebody in handcuffs.
No, I understand that. I'm not saying that, but for the most part,
Sure.
You're handicapped, at that point, and it's gonna, once you guys got somebody in handcuffs, there should be a little discernment to say, okay, this guy's not struggling, he's not fighting. He's up a little bit, he's not going anywhere, he's flat on his face, I have a feeling that there are few of you among your ranks that felt bad from that whole situation. Not for the officer, but for the guy on the ground getting his ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just kind of my take on things. And I wish we could bridge the gap on that. I don't know what it's going to take. It's going to take more people. I think it's going to take more officers saying, hey,
Sure.
Hey.
You know what else would help is for people like you to actually see what we do firsthand. See what we go through day in and day out.
No
do a
question.
ride along, because that perception, right?
So let me tell you about the ride along.
Okay.
Yeah, the ride along.
Because here's the thing, because you guys get to control the that's the only thing, you guys get to control the
I'm sorry, hold
narrative.
on.
Yep, that's okay.
Kind of like
Yes, sir.
what is it? The
No,
Citizens
sir, I am
Police
traffic
Academy.
control.
Right.
They get to control the narrative.
Right.
No, I want to see you in your rawest point.
Right.
No, me and
You have
Archie
to see that.
are
Yeah,
here.
because they're on their best behavior. If we're on a ride along, they're not going to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, I get your point, Kate.
You
That's
know?
a great point.
I don't. Well, I know that.
This is raw. This is not a
Both
ride
are
along.
raw.
This is raw.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're having a good conversation, guys.
What about Rodriguez? I don't know if he's here.
And this is what I'm saying. If you're on my channel to think that we're always going to have a bad interaction with police, this is not the channel for it.
Perhaps is working.
It's really not.
Yeah, we'll do a little dance party with that.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
I don't know, so sorry.
MLH, we also had a couple of comments
Yeah, we were a little thin here.
saying that you are the king of interviewing.
No worries.
Who, me?
Yeah, a camped up caveman said MLH is king of questions.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. So, I don't know, I guess just
Rice
to wrap
Krispie,
up,
hey, how you doing?
Rice Krispie, thank you.
Yay. MLH is
What's
doing
up?
awesome.
What's up, Rice Krispie? Subscribe to my channel, sir. Anyways, I guess I just want to wrap up because I know you're kind of busy and we want to beat this rush, but I really do appreciate the time that you're taking with us. It's definitely bridged a little piece of that gap here in
That's good.
Commerce City for
That's
sure.
good.
There's a few more Commerce City officers, regular officers, I think we need to talk to you a little bit more to kind of bridge that gap a little bit more, but you've done a really fantastic bang-up job, made your department look really good to
Absolutely.
officers, so detective. But,
We
I
appreciate
think
you.
you can talk to any of our guys. You find the same.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
I think so.
I would hope
Yeah.
so, detective. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to take too much of your time. I know you're super busy and you've got people on your radio and stuff. But thank you so much.
Thank
I really,
you.
really,
Nice to
really
meet you
appreciate
guys.
it. Nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
Nice to talk
Nice,
to you.
very
All
nice.
right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Be safe out
Yeah,
there.
be safe.
Thanks.
Be safe. I don't want to get a jaywalking ticket, detective. Yeah. Well, I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. Yeah, and I definitely don't want to tell you where my car is because I'll be followed around.
Yeah. And you might catch another frog.
Oh, I know. I'm hoping not, man. We almost had a real life Frogger
So
situation.
you asked me about the refuge. I think it's awesome.
It is awesome.
It's
I don't think it's a real refuge, Joe. I think it's still an active military installation.
I have seen the biggest elk I have ever seen. There were 5 of them, and they were under a shade tree.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then all the does were in another shade tree.
Yeah, it's cool
Yeah.
to watch.
Awesome.
There is wildlife out there,
Yeah.
but I happen to think it's still an active military base, and I will be exploring that. So you guys might be on a call
Please.
for me out there. All right, guys. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Detective.
Very nice
good
meeting you
night.
guys.
You too.
Appreciate.
You guys should follow her. She's good. She should be the chief of police down here.
And she kind of looks like the chief of police, Vanessa Williams in Aurora. She kind of looks like the chief of police in Aurora.
Really? Oh yeah, she
Vanessa.
does. Hey, that's a good point. Yeah, the ride-alongs, I didn't get a chance to talk to her about those, but it is an act. We all know that's an act, right, guys? I mean,
Rice Krispie, what's going on, guy?
Rice Krispie. Subscribe
Hey
to my
guys,
channel.
yes, please subscribe to this young man's channel.
I'm not so young, man. I'm about double your age, kid.
Mexican long hair.
Master interviewer.
Yeah, man, master, and I mean just, damn. I'm like, damn, why I didn't think of that?
Hey, man, you're around as long as I've been, man. You know. I really should have been a journalist.
It's always a good time. It's always a good time hanging out with Mexican long hair. I just happened to see him riding along,
Yeah.
and I was just like, man, I gotta join this guy. We gotta do something tonight.
Yep.
So I
I'm
was
so
just like,
happy we got that interview.
Yeah,
paid
that
off.
was
That's,
awesome.
You know.
See, that's what we're
What's up,
trying-
guys?
We're looking for shiny stars, and that was one of them.
That actually, I mean, you know, you could tell she didn't want to get it too much into
Well-
the thin blue line stuff, and she tried to spin it in a positive way. She's such a positive person, by the way.
But I'm gonna tell you, this it was scripted on that particular part. And here's the reason why I say that.
Yeah.
Because I was actually, I was in the Adams County Community Corrections.
Yeah.
So the thin blue line was what it was.
Yeah.
So
No, I know, brother.
that was bullshit what
Yep,
you said.
yep.
But I appreciate.
I guess I appreciate the spin. You
There
know,
you go.
I mean, you know, what can you do about that, man? I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
But she, a good officer. I do believe she, you know, she's
Trying to do the right thing out here.
is an upstanding person in her community. And,
By the way, a detective on traffic control, man?
hey,
That's,
you know,
they must be really thin, like she said. You know?
overtime.
Yeah, a little bit of
You know,
masculinity.
but you got to understand, morale's low.
It is.
You know,
It is low.
70 people left Aurora Police Department.
Yeah.
73 plus people.
Well, I don't buy that bullshit, you know. Well, we're so thin. Well, stop doing the stupid sweeps. How about that's a good start?
Well, the thing is, they're mad because they can't do the same shit.
Right.
They can't do the same shit like they used to.
Well, is it true, KDOT, that qualified immunity is gone in Colorado, or is it that just like some bullshit, kind of facade that we all believe?
No, there was a law passed last summer. A law, not a mandate, not a ruling, not a law that was passed stating that qualified immunity is banned in Colorado.
But there's limitations on it, though.
Huh?
I think. Aren't there limitations? I think it's specifically for police officers in specific situations.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Not for. I don't think for
Government
judges
officials.
or.
It's definitely not for politicians because there's no accountability for those ones.
And it should be.
Right.
And I want to be very clear. Qualified immunity is a mandate. It is a rule. It is not a law.
Right.
It was a rule that was administered in 1967 in the early stages of the civil rights movement because they beat the shit out of people.
Trying not to get my license.
And they beat the shit out of people.
Don't get my license plate, DJ.
Okay.
I don't need Commerce City or
So they beat the shit out of people, and to cover it up so they wouldn't get sued, the judicial system administered qualified immunity. And you guys can check that out actually on my page, and I talk about qualified immunity on there. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and log off one here.
Hey everybody, thanks so much.
Go to my guy Mexican Long Hair channel, subscribe, like, and share. So love you guys.
Take care, y'all.
And I'm out.
Not you guys. Let me get to your stuff here.